this video, I'm going to be turning one of the most average LEGO sets of all time into one of the biggest and coolest LEGO Star Wars MOCs you've ever seen. The other day, I was strolling around at Target when I realized one of the most average LEGO sets of all time was finally on sale. So I bought it, and we need to make it a whole lot better. 10 hours later, I built it. The set comes with 4 minifigures, but it just doesn't feel like quite enough, so we're gonna have to add a lot more. It even comes with that evil guy. What's his name again? He's from that one show, like Gus or something?
And welcome to the Los Pollos Hermanos family.
To start upgrading it, we need to make these play features a whole lot better. Starting with the cannon on the top. That spins around, which is cool, but it only has stud shooters. We need something better than that. The gun that they included is cool, but just doesn't really add enough play to it. So I'm gonna start by taking off the top. In the show, I'm pretty sure this guy really likes plants, so we're gonna have to add a bunch of plants around him, but he also needs a place to watch all of them too. Instead of having this gun on the tower, which he can't even use because his thumbs aren't big enough to click that, we're gonna transform it into a huge watchtower like a castle. All I needed were a few extra pieces and this little spinny thing from the turret. There we go. Now that my watchtower is finished and spinnable, I can add the final decoration. A nice little hanging thing that I definitely won't use later for something else. With the tower ready to go, I can place it right back on top where it was before. Now it spins and looks way better and cooler than it used to be. And of course, Moff Gideon fits right here on the top, so we can always be looking over his beautiful army. Kinda creepy though. Up next, we need to fix the worst part, which is the fact that there's just no space right here. I just can't fit enough figures in here to make it a proper fight. It's just not enough. So we're gonna have to expand this, but first, I bought another set from LEGO. To add extra space, we could use what LEGO already made, but this one just doesn't really work very well. They say it's supposed to connect here, or over here, I guess, but I think we can do better than that. So let's start with the front. We need to remove these 2 triangle tiles so we can start expanding. Yoink. I'll start by adding this huge brown plate to the front of the build. Then I'll add these gray plates to make sure everything meshes together properly. I'm also gonna add this mountain piece over here so we don't get confused and start building in the wrong places. For the rest of this brown part, I'm gonna add a couple extra detailing blocks to make sure that we can still see some of the brown as it comes through, but we wanna cover up as much as we possibly can. That should be fine to add a little bit of texture to the ground and some extra places for our figures to be. Now that the front's ready to go, we need to figure out what to do with the booty. There's gonna be a lot of empty space here that we need to fill with that guy's grass and a bunch of other accessories for our figures. But that's why I have one of the best LEGO pieces of all time, the giant LEGO base plate. This base plate was made way back in the ancient times in 2008. It's so old, even the figures from then are pretty much all gone. But they usually came with awesome features and a ton of stickers. They added a lot of detail, but they could get a little repetitive. They even included pits on top for bad LEGO minifigures. Now that I'm done adding the base on the back, I need to finish the last empty spot, right here. And what's gonna go there? Lots of grass. Because, you know, he's a grass farmer. That guy's a grass farmer. To make the grass farm, I started with this hexagon piece to make it look pretty, and then I added a little bit of grass right in the very center. With that added, the rest was pretty easy. Attaching it to the side was pretty easy, and now it's time to figure out what we need to do with the minifigures. Grabbing all the minifigures we need to add should be pretty easy. There's just a few that we definitely need. The first figure we're adding is this extra guy right at the front. That way, there's more of a challenge for our big fat Mandalorian. Next, we need these figures back where they belong, on this build right here. Because LEGO included one of these little flying ball joints, but there's 4 guys that can fly here. So how am I supposed to do that? We're gonna start by adding one of the Mandalorians with a jetpack over on this thing so he can fly around. But that means we also need another stormtrooper flying with him. So this guy, I'll clip him right onto the red part. And that way, he can kind of fly. Success! I'll put the other Mandalorian walking through the doorway like he's trying to figure out what's going on, and the other stormtrooper waiting for a nice headshot on Paz Vizsla. Now we need to add these 3 figures to take care of the garden. First, I'll add our gardener down here at the bottom, who should hopefully have a nice time taking care of all the plants. Then Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian will go in this ditch, because they basically did nothing that whole episode. Now you've seen everything I would do to make this set 1,000 times better. Tell me down below in the comments if you would buy this thing, and subscribe for more mayhem. Also, rip Paz Vizsla.